Hey, what's up? Hope you guys are doing good, man. Hope life's good for you. It's been great for me. I am, what is this here? Got a microphone. I am just hanging out. Hope you guys are doing great. I appreciate the subscribers. I picked up a few subscribers this last weekend to this channel. If you're a collector like I am, I'm hoping this channel will be a little bit of fun for you. Going to try to post videos on my adventures, on my journeys, on my research. I got some big plans. I want to do some fun shows and some fun research. I'm not any kind of expert by any chance, but I do want to have fun with it. Right now, I'm really busy, really busy. I said that in my last video. Right now, I'm tremendously busy with my personal life. It's really crazy. But I did acquire a second purchase for my Playboy collection. Here we go. Pull this out here. This is the first purchase, okay? Still in the hard backing. This is a nice hard board backing in here. This is the first piece of my collection. And this is the second piece. I bought this myself. This was ordered on eBay. This one was purchased by me at a shop in Monterey. So I'm going to actually pull this one out in a moment, and I'm actually going to show you the cover. Not going to open it up yet because that is going to take a special setup. This book in my hand, this is an original 1954. The second year Playboy printed magazine's actually the second year they printed, the second year in existence, but the first full year of editions. 1953 was the famous December edition that has Marilyn Monroe on it. That was the first printing, December 1953, and here it is. Now, the caveat is this is a 2007 reprint. Reprinted, I'm not flipping it over because there's personal information on here. I don't want to dox myself, but this is a reprint, 2007. Got it on eBay. I haven't even opened this. So I don't even know if this is a sealed copy. I'm not sure if it was a copy that was open and resealed for me, but my goal is to get an actual sealed copy from like the warehouse that was mailed out or you could purchase that wasn't open at all, like a mint edition. I'm not sure if that's it, but I'm still going to be looking. But right here, this is a 2007 replica authorized and printed by Playboy. So December 1953 was the first edition, the first copy, right? The first magazine. This is a reprint of that in 2007. Incidentally, they also did another reprint in 2017, I believe, which I don't have that one yet. I'm going to get that one. This one is valued, I've seen it online, $100, 150 in some cases. Not sure how that's even true or possible. I've seen it I've seen it priced for as much as $350. Don't understand that. But you could get for $350, you can get currently something in an original in the second year, at least in decent condition. Anyway, so this one I paid, I think, $84. So I feel like that's a really good value, but we'll get into that in a future episode. So this is something special here. Something special. This is very interesting. There's a story behind this. So I bought this in Monterey, but we'll get to that. I live close to Monterey, California. Not too close, but close enough. So just to restate the fact and tell you where I'm at with my collection, I only have 2 books. I don't even have like a binder to put them in. This is it. This is what my collection exists of, but I'm working on it. I'm working hard to figure it out. Gonna get a special bookcase for it. Depending on how nice of a copy or how much I spend on some of the original older ones, I might be framing some of these. I'm even looking to get some that are signed. You know, there's all sorts of cool stuff that we can have, or fun that we can have with this memorabilia, and cool stuff that I can find. Okay, so let me show you this one. So I went to Monterey. Go to my last episode if you're interested in the Monterey story. I went to Monterey and I connected with the owner of a guy that owned like a kiosk, owner of a kiosk, a guy who owns a kiosk. And the kiosk has a whole slew of Playboy magazines, like a whole collection in there. You could just rifle through them and find the years you want. It's pretty crazy. But what I found was very interesting. I found a copy of January 2000. I'm sorry, not January. Let me change that. Edit. I found a copy of July 1954. An original. Here it is. This is the original. Now, I paid $30 for this. $30, and I still have the handwritten little note here. But check this out, okay? This, and I know what you're thinking. What in the hell? There's no, yeah. This is a mutilated copy. So I was able to find an original copy, and I believe it is an original. I have to tell you, I trusted the guy. I haven't opened this up to verify it. There's a few ways we can verify that. I'll do a video on that later on. How to verify that your Playboy magazine is an original copy if you haven't got it actually appraised by an expert. You can see here that this was taped closed. It's probably been like this for quite some time, maybe a year or two. And it was in a glass case, and it says, do not open. Okay, I haven't tried to open it. In fact, I'm not gonna open it with my bare hands. I'm gonna open it with gloves. Because at this point, any kind of handling, oils, the air, this paper is so old. I mean, we're talking, this is 54, now it's 2020. We're talking 54, we're talking like almost 70 years. Like this is super old, okay? 60 years, 65 years, if my math is right. This is a very old copy, very old magazine. So this is July, okay, 53 now. They don't have, there's no label here, but I know. You can Google it. Also, there's a couple of torn pages in the front. And, but ironically, it's very well read, but it has, you could tell it has been flat for some time, hasn't been open for some time. So there it is. This is great, right? It's crazy. Like, I don't know how many copies of this were printed, but we'll get into that later on. I'm actually going to do a show on this magazine. Now, my goal is to get an original that's not mutilated, but I thought for 30 bucks, what a great deal. I honestly feel like I could turn this around for $100. I feel like, or let's even say 60. I feel like this was a great investment. I believe that I've gotten my money back. I believe this is under market value. Now, when it comes to the rating of these things, this is essentially a 0 rating. Damaged, mutilated, mold, those kind of things. This is a 0 rating, so 0 to 10. It goes 0.5 like that. Again, I'm no expert, but there you go. This would qualify as a 0, not even a 0.5 because the cover's been mutilated. I talked to the guy who owned it. So we'll get into this later on. We'll open it up, not in this video, but in a future one. I talked to the guy who owned it, and he told me, I said, hey, do you know what the heck happened with this thing? And he said, you know, back in the day, people would cut out coupons. So on the inside of this cover, there might be a coupon that somebody just cut it out. They didn't think anything of it. And with the other, excuse me, have a drink. With the other damaged pages, you just don't know, right? Or it could have been that somebody was trying to hide the fact that it was a Playboy magazine. They felt like it was so kind of scandalous, hiding it from the mommy or some shit like that. Boom, cut it right off, right? So is what it is. This is a very interesting size. It's like a traditional magazine size. The thing with Playboy, which I kind of love, is they didn't go to the tabloid Rolling Stone kind of size. They never changed their size. It is pretty much, I mean, within reason, the same size for years and years and years. Okay, so we got the Playboy bunny here popping, popping a champagne bottle backwards, boom, into the breast area of this hot blonde right here. And you'll notice this setup is almost like when Hugh Hefner had his series Playboy's Penthouse, Playboy After Dark. He had his conversational series. It was like a party with all these singers, comedians, smart people, actors, entertainers. This is the setup. If you watch it on YouTube, this was the kind of setup they had. So it's very reminiscent of a style and a brand that they continued with. The black tuxedo for the the Playboy bunny. And yes, this Playboy symbol you can see is the traditional symbol. There's a great story behind that. And we'll do that in another video. But if you look into the history of Playboy, this was not the original symbol. The symbol was supposed to be a stag, like an animal with antlers, like an elk or something like that. But there was an impending situation with the legality of using the name that they had originally picked. It wasn't Playboy in the beginning. The original name of the Playboy magazine was supposed to be a magazine called Stag Party. So thus they had a stag or a deer or some kind of thing with antlers. Anyway, so at the last minute, the year before they printed this, in December, they had to switch up the logo, and that's where you get your famous Playboy bunny design. So Playboy popping the champagne right here. You've got the blonde, the signature blonde. That is very important to the Hefner lifestyle. The Playboy lifestyle focuses on blondes because blonde hair was unique back then. The whole buxom blonde, the whole, not that they called it a Barbie doll, but the Barbie doll blonde concept was something that Hugh Hefner as a child, or not as a child, but as a young guy, really appreciated. He was a teenager, a young kid, go to the movies all the time, right? He'd see the musicals, the actresses. He kind of fell in love with the concept of the blonde, buxom model that was in a lot of the Busby Berkeley musicals. So something from the 30s and the 40s really got his attention about that. So Playboy was always kind of focused on the blonde bunny. The blonde was kind of a signature of the whole Playboy fantasy lifestyle. Playboy is a fantasy world that was developed in the magazine, which is incredible. The concept was developed on paper. It was developed in Hugh's apartment. They were cutting and pasting the first magazine. They rounded up the money right around $8,000 to $10,000. The stories vary on how much money he borrowed, how he did it, but everyone pretty much agrees it wasn't more than 10 G's back then. They ran it to press, which is probably 50,000 now, if you think about it. They ran it to press on a very low budget, created the magazine. The rest was history. So there's a lot to be even looked at and learned and gleaned from these old magazines. So another thing that you'll notice is, you see that? See how kind of damaged that spine is? You see the paint, or I'm sorry, not the paint, but the ink is pretty much off of the top of the ridge of that. So that's another indicator it's been well read. But hey, I'm really excited to open this up. So not gonna crack it open now. I'm gonna put this away. Put this away and put it away. And there's your update. Thanks for checking out my channel. Please follow me. Continue to subscribe. You can follow me on this channel. Would really appreciate that. Like this video, share this video, refer back to it if you're interested. I like your comments. I'm getting some comments on people that are talking about their collections. Really appreciate that. Comment at the bottom if you have any tips for me. I'm a forever learner. This is my thing right now. I have a lot of time on my hands. Life is good. So my hobby is collecting a Playboy magazine collection for the ages. And I'm bound to determine. But anyway, thanks for hanging in there. And like this video, share this video. See you on the flip side, guys.